Okay, let's see. Have you ever wondered, is there anything after death? Okay, where do we go immediately after death? What happens when we die? What happens when we, cease to exist? Have you ever wondered that? I'm sure you have, and I have too. I mean, it's a big question. It's a big mystery. I think that's the biggest mystery that humankind has been wondering for thousands of years. And in my case, I've been recently wondering about that and thinking about that, especially ever since my one a loved one passed away over a year ago, and that loved one is my father. He passed away at the time of his. I won't say death because I don't believe in death, but at the time of his departure, it was a shock. It was a shock for me, naturally, for anybody. We knew he was sick. We knew that his time was gonna come, but we didn't really know when. So it took us by surprise, by anybody else, like in anybody else's cases, right? It takes us by surprise. Death, or death comes to us by surprise. So I've been wondering about these kind of things, and I getting really kind of, I would say, educated on the topic, because it's something that a lot of people want to know. At least, look, nobody knows for real or for where do we go after we die. But I'm gonna tell you, humankind, it might be dumb at times, but we are smart too. We have very, I would say, theories that make a lot of sense in regards of this topic. Many theories talk about spirit, our spiritual. We are spiritual beings living in a body, and then by the time we die, that spiritual being leaves the body and re-emerge into the non-physical world. And for me, that makes a lot of sense. That's the theory I believe, and the one that I am really getting educated on. But of course, there is a lot of people on the other side. There is people that believe after death there is nothing. We just cease to exist, and that's it. Everything, your body shuts down, and therefore there is nothing left. There is no soul. There is nothing that nothing that is transcends, or something that we don't really have an afterlife. You know what I mean? They believe it this way. A lot of people do, but a lot of people believe in the afterlife, life after death, whatever you want to call it. I believe so. I believe in life after death, but not from a theological point of view. I believe it from a more scientific point of view, and agnostic, if you want to say, maybe, in a more spiritual and scientific point of view. That's what I want to say here. Because you see, let's talk. Let's say a little bit about the mind. What is the mind? I mean, if I ask you where the mind is, where is your mind? A lot of people is gonna point to their brain. Well, mind is in here, but actually, according to what I have learned and really learned, is that the mind is not in your brain. The brain is basically a electronic switching station, or that controls your nervous system. And the nervous system, of course, controls how you move your body, different movements you can do with your hands, legs. It's a station that sends a signal that tells your body move or don't move, or you know what I mean. That's the main function of the brain. But we say, okay, but we use the brain to think. Yes, kind of true, but we use the brain to think. We don't think thoughts and the creative side of our personality doesn't come straight from the brain. That's what I have learned. It comes from the mind. So where is the mind? If the mind is not in the brain, where is the mind? Well, that's another good question, right? You gotta understand the mind is activity, it's movement, it's a vibration, it's non-physical. So when you refer to your brain, when they talk about the mind, you're referring actually to your body, because your brain is part of your body. So the mind, according to what I have learned, for me, in my case, is straight connected, or if not, it's the same as your spirit or inner self or higher self, or your real self. That's my conclusion from many theories that I have learned. So I bet you have heard that before. I bet you've heard that once body shuts down, our soul leaves the body, right? Like religion, the Christian religion, and many other religions teach our spirit leaves the body. But you have to wonder, so what is the spirit? What is the mind? Like I said before, mind is activity. Mind is movement. So, and of course, mind, we can also say mind is energy. It's a form of energy. Because, everything in the universe is energy. This cup of coffee is energy. Cup of coffee and the coffee inside is energy. Now, it's a different type of energy. The difference in density and amplitude of vibration. My body is a form of energy. It's moving like the cup of, like the mug. It's forever moving. You cannot see they're moving because the particles of energy are moving at a very high speed of vibration. So apparently they look steady. They look like they don't move, but they move. Our body is forever moving, changing. No, actually, now that I mentioned the body, metaphysics have the idea that everything that we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch is not real. It's like the physical world we live in. It's not real. It's like a type of virtual reality. Even the body we live in is not real. And then they explain why. They're going into a very technical explanation why they do. But basically what they want to tell is that it's not real because it's forever changing. It's all the time changing, evolving. Our body is changing all the time. The chair I'm sitting in is not going to stay like that all the time. So it's forever changing, And the only thing that is real in this world, or in this reality, virtual reality world, whatever we need to call it, the only thing that is real is our soul, is our mind, it's our inner self, our spirit. Okay, that's the only real thing. That's what we can call as real. So that's what metaphysics, people who study metaphysics say. And I'm mentioning that because I happen to agree with that theory. I happen to agree with the theory, and it makes a lot of sense for me. So if everything we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch is not real, That means naturally we have to move from this level of reality to a different level, okay? Or a different dimension, which is also a very simplistic explanation that I can give you. Whenever we die or whenever we transition from the physical to the non-physical, we move into a different dimension, or a higher, a different dimension, or a higher level, or a higher level of frequency. Yeah, higher level frequency. Let's say, I don't want to get very technical, or I'm not trying to get technical here, but level of vibrations are level of frequencies. Let's say, like I said before, this mug, you see, is made of energy. The same energy the coffee is made of. But of course, they are moving in a different level of vibration. So the particles of energy of this mug are on a low level of vibration. It is moving, but it's not the same as, let's say, my thoughts. My thoughts are a way of energy. Your thoughts are a way of energy. You cannot see them. You cannot touch them. You cannot smell them. But they exist. And they move. They actually move on a very high speed. I don't remember the speed, but it's high. And they are on a higher level of energy. So my thinking is that, okay, we live where this mug is right now. We can touch it, we can see it, we can smell everything. We live in this vibration. We live in this dimension, let's say. And by the time we suffer this transition, or by the time our day comes and we die, my idea is that we move into that, not my idea, the idea that I've learned, we move into that higher level of vibration. We move into a much better level of vibration, to a much better frequency, higher frequency, where it seems to be invisible. You see? I mean, it's a very what can I tell you? This kind of topics are not easy to explain, or are not easy to try to. Because in this video, I'm not really. Actually, I'm not thinking I'm explaining very well. I'm not making my point that well here, but I'm at least trying to give you an idea of. Of course, you can find much better videos about this topic in here in YouTube. But look, this is my idea, the way I look at it. So it's a very difficult subject to cover and explain. It requires a lot of some kind of knowledge. I do have it, but I believe, of course, there is people who can explain it way better than me. But I really want to touch on this. I really want to really share my thoughts about it, because it's something that everybody is wondering. Everybody, it's a big mystery, and a lot of people are blind by the fact of what the religion tells them, or the fact that some people don't believe in anything. They don't believe in God, they don't believe in anything, and they just think when we die, there's nothing else happens. That's their opinion. I let you know my opinion already, and I would like to know your opinion. What do you think? What happens? What have you heard? Do you agree with my idea? Do you agree with what I'm trying to explain here? I would like to hear that from you. Let me know in the comments what you think. I have a feeling that this is not going to be the last video I do about this subject, and it's kind of exciting. To be honest with you, I didn't get 100% prepared to do this video. I don't have even any notes or something. I read the titles, but the titles of the video, but I didn't really have any notes or script. Well, I never go by script, but usually it's good to have a few notes about kind of subject like this one, especially like this one, which is a little complicated. So next time, if I ever do another video like this, I will go deeper in this. All right. So let me know what you think about it. What happens after we die?